Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, back with another STAMPtember collaboration, limited edition exclusive. Did I cover all the bases? Today's collaboration is with Lawn Fawn, the always highly anticipated Lawn Fawn STAMPtember collab. For those not familiar, these are exclusive sets that are a collaboration between the brand and Simon Says Stamp, and they are limited edition, meaning once they sell out, they are gone. I will have links to the sets, and yeah, you can get the stamp set or the stamp set with the coordinating wafer dies, and there will be tons of inspiration. Tons of inspiration. So, this is the Sledding Bot stamp set, and it's super cute. So I chose the images from the set, the two little main, images, the little fox on the sled and the little characters on the sled. And then the trees I stamped multiple times. And I'm stamping everything onto Simon's 120 pound smooth white cardstock with intense black ink. And then coloring everything in with Copic Markers. Now, the Copic marker coloring I've super sped up in editing. I'm not doing anything groundbreaking. I did 2 different green combos for the trees just to mix it up a bit. I was like, why not, So, a couple different green combos for the trees. Off camera, I colored the other trees. I ended up stamping 8 in total because I was like, I had, the scene planned out in my head. So, colored the trees with all these greens, a couple of browns for the trunks. I used very, very pale BG colors. I think I used BG10 and BG quadruple 0 for the little bits of snow. And then, of course, colored my little fox. I decided to go with kind of like a brighter orange sort of a color since these are kind of, cartoony characters. So, colored him in, and then all of their little accessories. I had just this idea of like a color combo in my head. So like the sky blend that you guys saw at the very beginning on the finished cards, pink and purple and like an aqua color. I was like, I'm going to go with this for their accessories. They got to match. They're matching the scenery. So yeah, did like, kind of a deeper aqua for the fox's scarf, which played so nicely with the orange. It's funny. I will avoid Copic coloring for the longest time. I don't know what it is. It's just like it's almost weird getting out of my own head. And then when I'm sitting and doing something like this, like coloring, it's just there. It's so fun. Like coloring these images, they're adorable. Like Lawn Fawn makes some of the cutest little characters. Love it. So colored this little hedgehog. I love him. He is adorable. He's so adorable. I love that he's on the back, obviously. So colored him. The bear I was originally going to color brown and then changed my mind and made him into a polar bear. Just because, I had the hedgehog with the browns and the little mouse I colored gray, and I was like, they're hanging out with a polar bear. That's what's happening here. So gave the polar bear bright pink accessories here, and the little hedgehog, he's going to have little purple earmuffs. And then all of these I fussy cut, which didn't take very long, honestly. Like, these were pretty simple to fussy cut. I don't have the coordinating dies for STAMPtember, which is pretty much par for the course, because as a designer, to get things to me on time, especially I'm up here in Canada, I kind of forego getting wafer dies. So, yeah, fussy cut all of these. If I'd had the die cuts, I would have die cut, but fussy cut all the images, set them aside. I had added white gel pen highlights using my Jelly Roll 10, by the way, and set those all aside. And then my card bases are going to be top folding A2 cards made from that same smooth white cardstock, because it's good heavy cardstock. And I used my anti-static powder tool. And then there's this little cluster stamp in this set, kind of a little snowfall-y type background. And I just eyeballed it. You can see my head getting in the way because I kind of have to get down and see the reflection. I'm stamping the stamp with just white pigment ink, so I can kind of see it, just, but at the same time, I'm not too worried about it because the way, the spacing and everything, it's just going to be a cute little snowfall background. So I stamped it with the white pigment ink, and then I coated all of it with Simon's Detail White Embossing Powder. And then once I've got the embossing powder in place, I am going to melt all of this with my heat tool. So you can kind of see it here on camera, but at the moment it looks very boring. Another option, if you didn't want to do the ink blending, like I had my heart set on the ink blending when I started this. But another thing you could do is just do a light aqua or a light blue cardstock as your base, and then just stamp the little snowfall, and that'd be your great sky background. That works too. But again, I just wanted to do some ink blending, and I was like, I just need some pink and some purple. So I used Distress Oxide inks to do my ink blending. I put Post-it tape and scrap paper where the score line is at the top of this card so that I don't get ink where I don't want it, because this is the card base itself. So I try to be a little more careful, a little less, not necessarily less messy, but I'm just being more aware of the rest of the card. So I blended Picked Raspberry, Wilted Violet, and Salvage Patina Oxide inks with my blending brushes, and just went back and forth a bit to blend those together. Once I'm happy with the blend, I'm going to use just my microfiber cloth to wipe over the top of this. Because these are oxide inks, the pigments will sit on top of the heat embossing. It's not a huge but you notice it. So you wipe that all the way off the heat embossing, and then it just makes that white pop. So I've got this cute little colorful snowfall background. I repeated the process on the second card front. And then to really zhuzh up these cards, I'm going to make them into sliders, which I have not done I can't even remember the last time I made a slider card. But I have all these random wafer dies. I had all the supplies. And this, what I'm showing right now, on camera, this is the first one. It came together so easily, I didn't bother filming showing the second one. If I can do this, anybody can do this. So the big thing with this too, though, is these little gliders. They're gliders for slider cards, and I'll have a link to them. I'm pretty sure these actually just came in a kit, one of Simon's monthly kits, and I never used them, but I had them sitting here, and I shockingly found them again. So those things are neat. They've got a little channel, like a little rectangle piece in the center of them. They got a circle. It just pops into place. So I die cut white cardstock with the Lawn Fawn Simple Stitched Hillside borders. And then I die cut the channel with one of the slide on over wafer dies. So that's what you're seeing, is that piece of white cardstock. I had die cut a second piece of white cardstock with the hillside borders with no channel. Only reason I wanted that, and I showed it there on camera, is just so I'll have the white backing to that open slider area so you don't see the ink blend. It's not necessary. It's more just for looks. So then all I need to do is I've popped that little slider glider into place in that channel. It pops in really easily. Then I flipped this over and I've put Simon's foam tape all around this, just making sure to avoid the actual little glider there so it doesn't, get hung up on any of the foam tape. Peel off the back of the foam tape, back it with that other piece of cardstock. That's just the solid piece that I die cut with the simple stitched hillside. And there you go. It's so simple. If I can do it, anyone can. So I had that. I added a little bit more of the Salvage Patina ink because when I held up the little hill to my card front, you can see right there. So it just kind of filled in that little corner. So I've got that, and now it's just a matter of assembling everything. So I die cut a smaller little hill just to give a little more texture, and I discovered that when I was holding it up to that, it was getting in the way at the bottom there of that little glider piece. So I just trimmed that down a little bit with my guillotine trimmer, and then now everything's moving the way it's supposed to. Everything's good to go. So love. So now I'm just going to start adhering, and to adhere whatever element, you could use like a die cut or stamped image like this, whatever, to the little glider. You can use a glue dot. Do you think I could find my glue dots? No. So I just use red line tape because you want something good and strong. You could also use a liquid adhesive. Just make sure not to use too much. You don't want it like oozing out and gluing things into, just be aware. But a glue dot, this red line tape, I folded it over just to give it a little extra strength. And yeah, press my little guys into place. And then they're sliding down the hill, and it just made me really happy. Like, again, love it. I know, like, if you guys watch my videos, I don't really do many interactive cards, that sort of thing. I love them. I love seeing them. I just genuinely can't be bothered most of the time because I got too many kids and too many things on my plate, and my brain is just like, no. But I did this, you know, this was, and again, if I can do this, anybody can do this. So I glued my hillside to the card base, and then I started tucking in the little trees there. I could have even done more trees, but in the end, it's still cute. So I adhered that little extra, you know, snowdrift, whatever. Adhered a couple trees. I did the same thing with the second card, and then off camera, I white heat embossed sentiments from the set. There's several, and you can kind of mix and match and build. And I white heat embossed them onto black cardstock, and then just adhered them to the card fronts. And then on the insides of the cards, I stamped another sentiment from that sledding buy set with just VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And then there's other little individual stamps in the set, little like snowflakes and dots and whatnot. And I just put those on acrylic blocks, just one of each. There's still other little images, but I put those on acrylic blocks and just stamped those with those same Oxide inks just to bring a little more color to the inside. So I've got little pink and purple and aqua snowflakes because, again, why not? Why not? So once those were stamped, these cards were complete. I know I didn't add any glitter or bling. I think people think I'm losing my mind, but honestly, it's just, if you guys could see the disaster I'm working in right now, like STAMPtember is loads of fun. It's just, yeah. This is what I do to bring out tons of videos. So it would look really cute though. If I can find I have like glittery snow embellishment stuff that I would add. That would be really cute too. But regardless, the stamp set's adorable. The fact that the sliders worked made me so happy. And like always, I will have links below the video to my blog post. I will link to the STAMPtember exclusive, as well as all the other supplies I use. So you can check that out below if you're interested. Thank you all so much for watching and subscribing and thumbs upping and commenting. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.